wrong free. No. For what you heard, I'm paying that page you ain't need. If every tuck can't fly no more, I close my eye and tuck my heat. Fill my hole with Benji, so my mind get wrong free. I really feel dangerous. When I speak, I just make you see the real me. I really wanna see me on the light and pay my time now. To all the real ones, I feel it too, don't turn your back now. I shut in plenty places, always dirty.
Our second episode is about mental health. I know for me, I've been through a lot, and I know a lot of people at this table have been through a lot. And a lot in the world with depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts and committing suicide. I felt like this was a very, very important episode. So with me, I got my father, of course, my co-host, my uncle here, Daniel Wilcox. I got Doc here, and I got my brother here, Chase. Doc is actually my therapist, so I definitely need an expert for this subject, and I just wanted to dive right into it. My first question is for you. The effects of playing sports and the strain of the game, how did that affect you mentally?
The effects of playing sports and the strain on the game.
Mm-hmm.
What level are you referring to? Like from childhood, high school, college, pro, what?
You can just do pro.
All right, well, so once you get to the pro level, I think at that moment in time in your life, you are on maybe the tallest freaking skyscraper you've ever been on, or the highest roller coaster you've ever been on. And I mean, the highs are so extreme, and then the lows are like the worst, you know. So as far as mental health is concerned, I think what we experience, you know, probably more than anything, is kind of like a withdrawal syndrome, you know. So once you retire from the game itself and you're no longer playing, that platform has continue to elevate you your entire life, and you've been on this consistent elevator going up, and then you get to a point all of a sudden where the elevator just stops, and then the cords pop, and then it just comes crashing all the way down, and then once you get to the bottom, you are starting all over. And I really don't know any other way to put it, but it's like becoming reborn again. You become a baby all over again. Like, you know, I've pushed you to, like, you know, don't talk about the things that you want to do without putting in action to make it happen, right? You know, so we've learned on this reward system so long. We work our ass off. You may get rewarded, you may not. But if you continue to work your ass off, somebody gonna see you, and they gonna pick you and pluck you, and they're gonna allow you to be able to be the best. The way this society is kind of set up, when you're playing, they love you so much. It's an unconditional love. But as soon as you're not playing, it's like they forget about you so fast. So mentally, it's probably one of the hardest adjustments I think that you could possibly have to deal with. And I equate it a lot with the military. You know, like you look at Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, or whatever. Excuse me. If you see one of those guys in uniforms, you let them skip the line. You letting them, you know, you're thanking them for their service. And it's the same thing with us. You see us in uniform, you know exactly who we are. Man, you thanking us for our service. You thanking us for our time. You thinking about the moments that we've given you that made you smile and made you laugh and made you cry. And you are giving us every ounce of you. I mean, they give us free food. They give us free clothes. They give us free shoes. I mean, you don't have to spend your money for anything. Free cars, you know, free plane rides. They put you on private jets. I mean, you get to experience some of the stuff, red carpets, just to be associated with you. And it's the same thing kind of with the military. Like if you see a military person coming from Iraq or whatever, and they get on the plane, and you're gonna let them jump you in line. The flight attendant's gonna call them up first. If you're military, you get to board the plane first. It's the same thing with us. We take charter flights everywhere we go, and all of a sudden you have to be subjected into the normal society, and you've never been normal your entire life until you can't play this sport no more. Man. So now you can't play this sport no more. Now they want you to be somebody normal. They want you to be a normal guy. And you've always known in a sense that you was normal, but there's nothing about us that's normal.
Right.
You know, we're freakish. The clothes don't even fit us the same like they fit other people. Your shoes are different. You got your arch support is different. You got to get custom orthotics made for your feet because you're so powerful and exploding through the ground so much that you're changing the dynamic of the impact with every single step, explosive step that you take. I mean, we're running through grown men for a living, and it's a very, very, very violent sport. So what happened when you have no release for that violence no more? All of a sudden, I've had a release for this violence since I was a 5-year-old kid. Now I'm a 32, 33-year-old grown-ass man, and I don't have a release for that violence no more. So you try to find things violent-wise that you can do without getting in trouble. That's why you see some of us go into other sports like boxing and stuff like that, because it allows us to continue to kick a grown man's ass without getting in trouble, right? What happens to those like myself that have taken so much punishment over the time that your wrist is jacked up, your hands jacked up, your shoulders jacked up, your hips jacked up, your foot's jacked up, your back's jacked up, and you can't even lift a weight or work out no more, or the doctor's telling you don't run at all, you just have to walk. You know, so what happened to those guys? They still have that same anger, they still have that same drive, they still have that wanting to run through some shit.
Right.
But you can't because physically you just can't.
Right.
You know, so you have to figure out ways mentally to cope. It's the same thing for military. They've been sniping and shooting guns every single day, and they preparing for battle. I've been to Afghanistan. I've seen how it is. Like they have on a freaking army T-shirt and some army shorts, and they got an AK on their back going to lunch. You know, they always on high alert. You know, and they get on a helicopter. You got your gun stuck out the window. You know, you walking down the street jogging. You jogging with your buddy, and y'all both jogging with AKs on you, strapped on your back. Yeah. You know, so I've seen it. You know, with my own eyes. And when you come back to the real world, all of a sudden you can't walk outside with a gun. Something wrong with you. You know, you can't jog with your gun on your hip. Something's wrong with you. You can't go outside and just shoot like you could when you was over there because something would be wrong with you. You know, so, and then now you don't have that uniform on anymore. You just an old, ordinary person in everybody's eyes. Now you're not getting skipped to the front of the line. You're not getting all these things anymore. The government's not paying you the way they was paying you at first. You don't have the health insurance you used to have, and all of a sudden you become a normal person, and then you pull up on the side of the highway and you see a veteran out there with a sign saying, I'm a veteran, I'm homeless. How does he get to that point? Because he struggled mentally so hard with the point of not being able to run through a grown-ass man every single day. And now he has to figure out a way how to cope with all these anxiety, emotions, and feelings and stuff that he's having.
Right.
And it's unbearable. Right. You know, like I'm tearing up even just thinking about it. Like it's unbearable. Like I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about my teammates, my brothers. You know, you men. You know, and I'm just, you know, it's hard. It's a hard thing to have to cope with when you are no longer who you have been your entire life.
A lot of my friends and buddies I grew up with struggle with it, and a lot of people don't know this, but growing up, my dad was always angry. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, man, why is this man so angry? Because of a lot of things you just said. You talking about a guy who played in the trenches, hitting people and come from nothing, and all that stuff just build up. So your release is the game.
Yeah. It is.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's your outlet.
It's your outlet. And when you don't have that outlet, now who do you become? You know what I'm saying? And it's stuck in you, and people don't understand what you're going through. They just see as an angry guy, but they don't understand.
But they won't, though. That's the scary part
exactly.
About it. Because it'd be the people that are closest to you that don't even understand what's going on. And that's how society is. You know, like society, They only see what you give them, but they don't understand what caused you to become who you are or why you are at this moment and point in time in your life, and it's a struggle. I mean, and you don't realize how bad it is until you have a platform or something like this, or you in a situation where men get to talk to other men that are dealing and coping with those same issues and problems.
It seems like for me, like Ed, always seen the angry part, and I never could understand it because we never got counseling, and it's like I never was a druggie, drinker, so I dealt with this sober. So it's like I asked myself after you've been through this violent rage, what the hell is wrong with you? But then you got that inner conflict with yourself. It's like, why are you doing this? These people are the ones you love, and you hurting these people, and physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
So it was like, for how he came up, he had a real hard life because my joy was seeing him play ball, because I couldn't play no more. So I was, like I told you, I was depressed for 6 months.
Yeah.
When he said he didn't want to play no more, I'm like, what you mean you don't want to play no more? What?
Yeah.
But I was selfish. It's like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah. And I can definitely agree with that, man. The biggest thing I learned is like going through everything I went through, especially these past couple months. A lot of times we get caught up with our purpose being what we're doing, like our profession, like our job that we do. But once I learned that we are purpose at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, no matter what we do, like it always keeps us grounded, you know what I'm saying, like with family, our faith, and just everything else in between, just knowing that no matter, like, as long as we have that, no matter at the end of the day, we always gonna be good, you know what I'm saying.
And Chase, I want you to like share your story from like what you had to go through like these past few months.
Yeah.
Share that story for me.
So yeah, man. So just kind of starting out in high school, just playing ball for me, it's been like real bliss. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was good. I think I started going through like a lot of stress and anxiety once my freshman year, going into college. Just going into that environment for me, it was like you go from this environment to where it's nothing but contentment. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's good. But when you get into this environment right here, it's like, okay, this is a whole different level that you've never seen before.
You talking about college?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it's so overwhelming to the point where you go for that from year to year to year to year, and it kind of builds up and you feel like that's the norm, but it's really not supposed to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think what I learned throughout that process is how mentally strong you have to be going through that. You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like once you get through the other side, it just lets you know that that we are stronger than we actually think we are. You know what I'm saying? And once I learned that, you just being able to roll the punches. Going forward, like, so the last couple months, I was going through like a lot of stress and anxiety with mental health. Starting doing like therapy and stuff like that. For me, it was all new to me because I never really was able to articulate my thoughts like that. I always struggled with talking about what was going on with me because I never thought people would be able to understand. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, I tell you that when I got into that environment, just being able to talk with my therapist and stuff like that, I've never been so more open-minded, like just more free for real, as far as like where I can really express myself to where I can articulate, people still be able to understand, be able to relate where I've gone through. And that's the biggest thing I learned, man. No matter what our story is, people are always going to know, like, no matter what you go through, there's always something that somebody can relate to your story because your story is unique, you know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy, man. How life works for real. Like, I feel like when you really go through something, you're able to tell that story and you're able to inspire somebody else to know that you're not the only one going through it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So, dog, I wanted you to, talk about the importance of what you do and the impact you have on people.
Yes.
Who go through so many things that they might be afraid to tell somebody or they struggle with every day.
Well, I definitely appreciate that question, and just listening to everybody's stories. When I hear you talk, the word value came up. Because as humans, we all want to belong. That is our human desire, to belong, to be a part of something. And then you have this opportunity to be a part of something, and then it's taken away. So where do I find my value? Where do I find my value? Where do I have this outlet? And then we talk about you guys, I admire y'all because the fact of the matter is you've been doing this from a very early age. So when we look at early memories, what are those early memories of belonging? What are those early memories of how I was treated? How I was esteemed. And even to hear your dad, hear you say, look, I was angry. I admit that because your identity was in your son. You know, and I was listening to this gentleman talk the other day, and he was actually saying that as moms, as women, we create memories, but dads give validation.
Yes.
You know, when you think about, so if Ed can say I belong when I'm on the field, when I'm running, when I'm doing this, and I see my dad like smiling, or you know, that is a great feeling. You know, and so it's so important to even as, you know, as parents, as dads, to make sure that we're telling our children, look, you matter, you are valuable, you know, you're more than what you're doing. This is just a vehicle to get you where you're trying to go, right? And then even to have the opportunity to express that to somebody, to be able to be vulnerable. You know, for so long we have to, I mean, like, we as humans, we have to carry this, you know, this, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you know, nobody can see me sweat, nobody can see me break down. No. You know, it's important to have a safe space, to be able to have that outlet, because yes, you do have to basically, what I would call it, reprogram your brain to fit into a normal society, to be a regular person, you know. And so that I could only imagine how trying and difficult that is, and even to carry it and not being able to say, hey, you know what, I'm hurting. You know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, I definitely appreciate that. And then also I want you guys to remember that there's a chemical in our brain, that dopamine, that rush, you know.
Word.
So when you're running, when you hear the crowd and everybody's calling your name, it's like, yes, it's a high, you know. So when you're able to express that and share that, just creating, my goal is always to create a safe space to just be. Don't impress me. Like, please don't. I'm just trying, like I said earlier, if you're drowning and you're hurting, look, let me give you what I got to get you out of there. That's what it's about. You know, that is always my hope, because I tell everybody, all the clients that I work with, I say, look, I know how it feels to be in bondage. Whatever your bondage is, I know my bondage and I know freedom, and I'd be damned if anybody is going to get me back in a box.
Right.
So remember that no matter what, find a safe space no matter what. And you know, we would hope that those people around us would understand that. Sometimes they don't, because they will project, they will place their desires and wants on you and try to tell you, well, you shouldn't feel this way. Oh, you got everything, or, you know, this, that, and the third. No, don't dismiss how I feel. Don't
Right.
dismiss what I'm saying.
Right.
So I hope I answered your question.
Of course. I want to talk about a little more about how, you know, and when you walk around campus, and students used to be like, man, y'all get this, y'all get that, and they don't even understand.
Stupid.
You want to go first?
I'm long-winded. I think there's a misconception of what it takes to be a Division I, you know, athlete. You know, there's so much sacrifice and so much will, determination, and I can't. The word isn't effort. It's something greater than that. Like there's something innate in you that allows you to change and adapt and grow. I mean,
you know how students would be like, man,
you're privileged.
Yeah, you're
basically.
privileged, man.
Yeah.
What's
So-
you complaining for?
So to me, like this all goes back to the stuff we was talking about at the beginning, like where I just feel like we're not normal. Like we're not normal people. Like even trying to adjust when you're done playing to try to be normal when you're not normal. You've never been normal your entire life. You've always stood out amongst the rest. And there's something about you that once you got to that college level that even separated you even more, you know, from the best of the best. And you once you get to the college level, you're no longer a high school football player, and you're one of the elite few high schoolers that was able to go on and play, you know, football extended past high school. Mm-hmm. But not only that, but you've been weeded through the Division II athletes, the Division III athletes, the JUCO athletes, the athletes that went Division I AA, the NAIA guys. You've been weeded through all those, and you're on Division I level. So then when you get other students, saying that we're given anything. We didn't we wasn't given anything. We earned this shit. I mean, we worked our asses off. We sacrificed day in and day out, getting up at 5 a.m., running stadium steps, lifting weights, pushing your body beyond the limit. I mean, I can remember.
About mentally. How did it strain on you mentally?
Yeah, like mentally, like it's like a Navy SEAL. Being able to get to the level to say that I'm a Division I athlete is something in your body that changed. Like you was talking about the dopamine stuff earlier, and it's something in your body that allows your body to develop differently from somebody else's. It's in your genes. It's genetic. It's you're a mutant.
Yeah.
You're a mutant. It's like when you watch X-Men, do you say though the mutants was given something no, they wasn't given anything special. They are different. Period. They're not like you. We're not like the ordinary person. Even when we come off that high, we're still not the ordinary person, and we're trying to put ourselves in an ordinary body and adapt to make other people feel like we're normal, even though we know that we're not normal. There's a mental innate ability in you as a sniper to be the best sharpshooter in the world. There's something different about you that allows you to be able to calculate when and calculate how the bullet is going to raise and drop to hit that person smack dab on the target every single time. You're special. That's why they call you to go kill the bad guys, because you're that guy. That's how we are. We're different. We're not the same. And every opportunity we try to put ourselves in that same category, we're destroying a little bit of us. Every time we try to put ourselves in a normal category, every time somebody try to put us in a normal box, and every time somebody say that we were given something, they do not understand our pain, our struggle, our what got us to where we are, why they decided to give us that scholarship, and even that angers you. Even that makes you want to go work even harder. Even that makes you want to go knock the shit out of somebody. So it's a constant, I guess, pull and tug situation. I was working on something mentally just now, and I forgot what I was headed towards just now because it was so important that I felt like I needed to really, really say it. But I'm telling you, like when people approach you, and you get so many different angles of people being able to appreciate what you do and people not being able to appreciate what you do, and people understanding what you do and people not understanding what you do. I remember the first time I got to the NFL and I told somebody I was going to work. They was like, "Where you work?" I was like,
right, like you just
no,
playing or something.
I work for the New York Jets. What the hell are you
Right.
talking about? Like I'm going to work. Like, this is my job. Like this ain't games. This not a game no more. Like I said, you get a chance to go home and pop your popcorn and sit down on the couch, comfortable as hell on that nice luxury couch that you have, and eat, Mrs. Butterworth's popcorn. My ass is getting busted out here every single second of this game, and I'm torturing my body for your entertainment.
Wow.
So they don't understand like what it takes for a guy like Chase, a guy like Ed, a guy like myself, even Pops, man. Ed Sr., to be able to go out here, work as hard as you can to be able to make your body absorb impact as much as we absorb it. People get in a car accident and they're like, "Oh my God, my neck, my shoulder, my back, my forearm." We've been in 1 million car accidents in our lifetime, and it is non-stop. So for somebody to say that anything was given to us, they just ignorant to the fact of what we do. And there's so many people out here in this world that wish they had the ability, the God-given talent, and the drive, the mental push, the relentless not giving up, the relentless I won't quit, I won't fold, I will not break, you can't break me type mindset, type attitude. I'm gonna go out here and fuck up whoever get in my way type mindset, that wish they had that, and they can't even scratch the surface to even understand what it feels like. That's just like saying a Navy SEAL sucks. He's probably one of the most dopest people on this earth. Yeah. He could withstand things that your mind has never even remotely even got to that moment. Right. And that's the same thing that we've been through. We've been in practices where the coach say, "You gonna run till I get tired." That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. Right. How are you gonna get tired? All you doing is standing there watching us run. Right. Run with us. Then when you get tired, maybe we can stop. Right. So it's stuff like that. Like if somebody's sitting down just looking at you and say, "You gonna run till I get tired," until you get tired of what? Till you get ready to go home to your wife and kids. Like I mean, what are you talking about? Let's sit down and have a conversation about why you feel the way you feel, Coach. Because obviously something ain't right in your mind. Yeah. And we have to take that punishment. and it's repeated.
And another thing I want to talk
It's
about.
repeated. I'm
But
sorry, I
what
didn't even
you-
give Chase a chance to
I
even
know,
answer the
man.
question. I told you I was long
I
winded.
had to hear all that. Like, so
Yeah.
the only thing I want to say, man, is like if you've never gone through something that somebody else go through, you got to listen more than you speak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
It's
don't
like,
forget that you got mom and dad in the house with you your entire life. That's your first source. All right, dad banker, right?
commercial banker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't forget that shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like your dad has found a way to pave a way to keep mama in the house and be able to raise you all the way to this point. And you got a shot.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's huge in our community. Don't take that shit for granted.
Yeah.
So always talk to Pops. Find out, pick his brain. You always got me. You always got Ed. You know that. And your brothers are always gonna be your keepers.
That's
You know?
sweet. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. When y'all got there, y'all three lined up together side by side, and y'all went to war every time. Like, damn, Chase, why you didn't get him first? If you take him out, Chase, I promise you I'm gonna clean him up.
Yeah.
Like that, you can't. That bond, is irreplaceable because y'all been in those trenches together. Y'all blown knees out together. Y'all broken ankles together. Y'all
Man,
broken
it's okay,
fingers.
bro. I called you
Shit's
and talking
real.
about my ACA. Like, bro, I did my last week. I'm like, bro, what?
And what did that do for you mentally when you
Right.
took ACL?
Like,
Because you never been hurt before.
Let you
I'm
know.
the first one.
Let you know that you're
Oh,
not
wow.
superhuman.
And that's what we think, especially being an athlete. You think.
You
Man,
can't. You don't go through a million car crashes and come out unscathed unless you're
feel me?
superhuman. So
Yeah.
the first time you have a major injury like that, that shit is real.
Yeah.
Like it's so mentally tough to deal with, and it starts making you rethink everything that you've been programmed your entire life. Because I was that guy that went all the way through high school. All I had was stingers in my shoulder, and then I got to college. I had a little AC joint sprain in the same shoulder. Then I got to App State. Then I tore a finger up, and I had to have surgery and get a pin. I played right through that shit. Took the pin out 2 days later, and I got a cast on that shit. Buddy tape, catching balls, scoring touchdown like it never happened. 2 days later. So I didn't have any major surgeries. Nothing major. The only major surgery I really had at that moment was this and my wrist. And then I get to the league, year 8, pop, tear that damn foot up. Microfracture surgery, colectomy surgery, experimental shit that didn't work. And now I'm all of a sudden I got 4 more surgeries the next year after that. Major ones. Shoulder, arm. Shoulder, bicep. It's just crazy, bro. So once you get that one, it lets you know that all of a sudden that all right, I can be broke. I'm not Superman.
And like,
Go ahead, Rob.
once I went through that, man, it was like, man, like there's a lot of crazy shit you can go through besides that. But like, I was like, bro, if I can go through this and all the stuff I went through, what else gonna, you know what I'm saying? Just like shit. I mean, like I'm glad I went through it. I said, cause like I wouldn't be in this mindset if it wasn't for everything. You know what I'm saying? No, but shit, yeah, bro.
It's a part of your growth.
It is. I remember, man, I've been playing ball since I was 5 years old, and talking about the mental health thing. I was playing the game for my dad. I ain't even play. That I started loving the game since I was like 10.
I was the same way, bro.
Like I was 5 years old. Like every play, I'm looking to the sideline, looking at my daddy.
Validation.
Yeah, I'm
remember?
looking for it because he's
Yeah.
smiling. Because he was so
Yes.
angry. And everything else in life, he angry at it. But it's the only time I see my dad happy. So I'm looking like, so if I go hit this kid and go run these touchdowns, maybe he put a smile on my daddy's face. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yep.
So then I'm playing ball and I started loving the game myself. And I remember my senior year, I remember going to a Tennessee game on the boys to Tennessee. I'm just crying on the boys. Because at the time, I'm homeless. I lost everything. All I got left is ball. Like, I'm like, this game here, when they talk about Ed Curney, when the NFL team want to see him, it's the only game they're going to look at. So I'm on the bus crying, and I know my mom, my dad, my sisters, and my son in the stands, my little nephew and niece in the stands. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about all of this. Like, that's all I got left. I have nothing left. No car, no house to go back to, nothing. I got this one game. So I'm on the bus crying, thinking about those ever since I was 5 years old. those heels, those push-ups, those butt whippings, everything I done been through, right? So,
Boy, say them heels.
man, we beat them. You know what I'm saying? I fast forward. I'm thinking I'm good now. I don't have agents calling me, teams coming in to check on me now. I'm like, man, my life finna change, right? And then I tear my knee up, and you talking about.
It was devastating. Yes.
Laid on that field, I was there on the field for it.
Yes.
But you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Going through this, I'm not even thinking about my daddy. You know what I'm saying? He been there. I'm 5 years old running hills. He there doing the push-ups. I'm thinking about me. I'm thinking about me. Because now, at this point,
It's your life.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And I know what his check stubs say and bank statements say. And I know what mine say. They say nothing. And I have a child. So I'm looking at me like, man, what am I going to do? I can't live off him.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 23 years old. This only thing I ever knew was football.
Yeah.
Like he just said. And I never been, I don't know how to be normal.
Right.
So it's like, what do I do now? So that's when I started going to therapy. And I remember my first day of therapy, I limp in there. The first thing I do was I cried. I didn't even talk. My first 3-4 sessions, I just cried the whole hour.
Yes.
She just sit there and watch me cry.
Yeah. Let it out.
Because I was so broken.
Yes.
And I didn't know what to do. Only thing I could do was cry to God.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody this story. I am so blessed. Because, like Unc said, when you done with the game, it's so hard to wrap your mind around you done. It's so hard to be normal because I've never been normal.
Right. That's your
I've been
identity.
a star. I'm signing autographs. I'm on billboards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People screaming my name. I'm doing whatever I want to do on campus. I got all the girls. I got the cars and I got everything. Now it's gone. So now it's like, who are you? And I've been playing the game since I was 5. I didn't even really understand. I didn't even know who I was.
Yeah.
I didn't find out who I was until this past 2 years. I'm thinking I'm somebody, but that wasn't even really me.
Yes. Yeah.
I just became that person for him. And I just know who I was the past 2 years, and I'm 25. I've been living a whole nother life that I didn't even know who I was.
Yeah. You know what, Ed? Let me share this with you because I want to encourage you guys and let you know that there are dimensions of self. That was a dimension of you. You know, being that 5-year-old kid, because you were validated.
Right.
You know, that was you in that moment. And the beautiful thing is that we have the capacity and the ability to change. You know what I'm saying? Like Pops, I know that you have not always been, this person. There are dimensions of yourself. You've grown. Anybody who doesn't grow, that means you're dead. Like there's no change. So know that was a part of you, that was a chapter, and now it's closed, and so you can learn from those experiences. And like I always say, one of my greatest mentors says that when we fail is only feedback and all of its lessons. What did I learn, from these moments? So that was you. And the beautiful thing is that you can recreate yourself. You can reprogram your brain.
I was just about to say,
yes,
you got to be able to reinvent yourself.
Yes.
It's a hard freaking thing to do, especially when you've been programmed so long to be one thing. And even that one thing is not one dimensional because to be a successful player, you have to be multi-talented. To be a next level guy, a guy that makes it to the Division I level or to the NFL level, you have to be a multi-talented individual to do it because you got to be able to play multiple positions.
Come on, you got to be a football player.
You got to be. You can't just be a linebacker. You can't just be a wide receiver. You have to be a football player. And it's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing. So you got the capabilities of doing it. But you've only seen yourself in this one light, and that light has been so freaking bright. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's gone. Yeah. And the prime example, Doc, is when you think about the amount of time it took you to you got your PhD, right?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
See,
This is my second career. Like, I mean, that's a whole
Right.
nother story. This is my calling. So
That's
yeah.
great that you even said it's your second career, because everything we're doing right now is number 2, number 3, number 4 for us. You know, so we are. Our first career was football.
Yeah.
And we put work in since 5.
Yeah.
We was a 5-year-old kid that said I wanted to be a pro football player, just like the 5-year-old kid that said I wanted to be a doctor, just like I said I wanted to be a lawyer, just like I said I wanted to be a fireman. You, at that moment, you start putting the work in because you started reading stuff that gets you into ready for psychology, right?
Yeah.
To get you ready for that. I love psychology, by the way. I was a psychology minor.
Awesome.
You know,
We could talk all day.
yeah. So as you prepared yourself for your future life, your future self, you started putting in work at 5. Like I got an 11-year-old son right now, and he could read a novel in literally a day, like a 600-page novel,
Yeah.
grown up stuff.
Yeah.
In a day.
Smart,
Yeah.
man.
So when I see a kid like him, he reminds me so much of myself because I've always had a photographic memory, but now I can't seem to remember shit, right? So when I see this kid, and he loves science, he want to be a scientist one day, right? So he's already preparing himself. He's reading books about science. From now, he's going to continue to read that book. That's how we were with football.
Right.
We read all the books. We watched all the ESPN. We did all our research, the
videos.
videos, everything you name. We watched it, all the way till we got to be the doctor,
Yeah.
the best surgeon in the world.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
my hand's been chopped off.
Yeah. That has to mess with
I
you
woke
mentally.
up the next day and my hand's been cut off. And even though they still there, they just don't work the same, right?
See,
And even if they do work the same, they just say, we done with your ass.
Yeah.
You know, even though you feel like you can still go perform the best surgeries in the world right now
Yeah.
on any patient that come your way, the hospital say, we no longer need you.
Yeah.
And no other hospital will take you.
Yeah.
How do you cope with something like that?
Yeah.
When everybody that had arms open to you all of a sudden
Yeah.
turned their back to you.
Yeah.
And now you got to figure out mentally,
Yeah.
who are you?
Yeah, exactly. And let me tell you this. The fact of the matter is those experiences will help you. If you're a fighter, you're going to be a fighter no matter what.
That's the only thing that saves us.
That's the only thing that
The
saves you.
problem
You can
is-
reinvent yourself.
The problem is it's going to be 1 out of every 10 of us that's going to commit suicide because
Come
of
on
it.
now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be 1 out of every 10 of us that's going to go do some ignorant ass shit
Yeah.
just because they don't know
They go to
how to
jail
deal
for
with that
life.
patient.
Yeah.
That pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You know?
like with Ed, even like my grandbabies, I really don't even want them to play. Because, see, we was doing football for the lifestyle, to get out the struggle.
Yeah.
So now I see, we don't need football to get out
Yes.
the struggle because my baby
Yeah.
is a head case.
Yeah.
For some football?
Yeah.
For some entertainment?
Yeah.
The crazy
not
thing
worth
though,
it for you.
no
It's
matter
not worth it.
no
Yeah.
matter what it is that you do in life, if you're going to be the best at it, you're a head case.
Yeah.
For whatever it is that you want to be the best at, you're a little different. You throw it off.
Yeah.
You're right.
Whatever it is, like even if it's trucks, like you want to drive trucks and you want to be the truck driver.
like,
What time you went to bed last night?
And what they tell
you
you.
ain't go, did you?
I ain't been.
That's crazy as shit.
And I've been to Dallas and come back in the same day. Go out there and come back.
And people gonna look at you like you're a nut job, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's something wrong with you, you know. And that's what it takes in order to be successful. And we've tasted it. We know what it takes.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that's gonna bring us out of it. The problem is that every time we try to come out of it, somebody slams the door in our face because they feel threatened by the aura that we present because
Yeah.
we're so different.
And that's something like just being in the program that I was in. Like I felt that like okay, I feel like they trying to hold me.
talk about a little bit about the program you was in.
All right, so yeah, so
What program? What's the name of it?
Slow.
Slow?
Yeah. So
What is that? Okay.
so Southern
Okay.
Living Oak and Wellness was the name of it.
Yeah.
So biggest thing for me that I focused on, man, was like I felt like I was being brought down to a sense, but I would say for me in that mentality, okay, why am I feeling like I'm in jail? You know what I'm saying? It's like
You talking about like before you got in,
yeah, no, I'm talking about me.
while you was in there, okay?
Like I felt like I was in jail mentally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like everything that I'm going through is like I really had nobody I could really connect with because I mean, with every type of person you could ever think about. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't
It's
the right
like,
environment for you though, Chase.
it's just like,
Yeah.
it was that right there. They put so much of a wear and tear with me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I have nobody I can truly talk to because nobody's going through what I've gone through, and I've never gone what they gone through. You know what I'm saying?
You was in the wrong place. Like, you basically setting them up for failure. So you basically set yourself up for failure to even put yourself in that situation. Your biggest shoulder to lean on is your teammates.
Yeah.
Because they all going through the same shit you're going through at some level. Some of them doing better, some of them doing worse, some of them mentally ain't right. But there's a whole network of us that we're afraid to talk to for some reason because we so used to being.
Right.
Oh,
That's ego.
Ain't nothing wrong with you.
That's
You know what
ego.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's ego. Yeah.
We so used to having that. I mean, it is ego in a sense.
We
Like, it
kinda
really is. It's ego.
Yeah, we all got it.
It's ego. It's pride.
Yeah.
Man,
You embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you
You fall
embarrassed
apart.
that you feel the way that you feel.
falling apart.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's-
when it's on that team of 150 guys, what about the ones that never made it?
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
Never
you
hit the
think-
field. They
yeah.
ran every lap, every push up, all the study halls.
Yeah.
You ain't play one down.
And then as soon as you fall down, it's like they put all that hurt they went through. Like, I knew you was gonna make that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
Oh, I'm like-
you know, so like that right there, it plays a lot for real. Cause like that's why I feel like family's so important. Like with y'all, like
Your support
you know
system.
what I'm saying? Like
Your support system got to be strong.
that's got to be your grounding for no matter what. Cause they know you the best. You know what I'm saying? It's like. So they know when to put you back on track. Like, hey, this ain't you. You gotta get back. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
So,
So,
yeah, bro.
I wanted to ask you this, bro. How old were you when you checked yourself in that facility?
So you,
How old were you?
How old?
I know this was like back in about a year ago. I mean, not a year ago. Like 2 months ago.
You know what I'm saying? How being a 24, 23-year-old, how did you come to in your mind, wrap your
say
head
you need
around
help.
to say, I need help, I need to go get help? Because, like we just said,
I'm glad you did.
a lot of us don't reach out. You know what I'm saying?
49.
And this finna be the first time he ever
He gonna
finna,
get it, boy.
you know what I'm saying? And my mom been putting it on him, and I've been putting it on him because we know he ain't there. Like something wrong with him. But he fighting every day to try to
Get better.
get better. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't get better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for somebody like him to say, hey, I'm finna go walk into this facility.
Because he
and go
already
get
found
help.
his own coping mechanism.
Come on now.
It's good, coach.
Whether or not his coping mechanism is good or not, that's
Right.
up to him to decide.
Right.
You know, but he's already found it. He's already found it. That's why he's able to get to where he had and still found a way to be successful. You know, even dealing with the hurt and the pain and
And I
the
hurt.
shit that he had to deal with his
hurt
entire life.
like hell.
And it's even worse when you hurt the people around you. You know what I mean?
That's why I hurt
It's
like
even
hell.
it's even worse. And it's so when you get to the point where Pops is right now, where I've been, when your family is not well off already and taken care of, what happens is you become the bank for everybody, right? You
I can't say no.
Yeah, you become your mom's husband. You become your sister's father. You become your dad's big brother. So it's weird. It's really weird situation.
Real, though, boy.
Enmeshment.
So when you get to a point where that money stops coming in and you have to start saying no, all of a sudden the people that love you and care about you the most
Man, they
turn
don't
it back
need
on
love.
you too.
But you know what, man? Like the biggest thing, like throughout the whole entire process, I learned that my family got my back no matter what. My mom, my pops, my sister, my like aunts and uncle, like everybody that's staying in contact with me, I know they got me for life. Cause like I done went through everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like they had.
They care.
You know what I'm saying? Like they truly love me.
But that's why I was telling you your situation is different. And you gotta embrace mom and dad. Because mom and dad has always been there.
Right.
And they've done well for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they not the typical black family that's struggling their ass off and they your lights are getting cut off once every other month and y'all eating out of cans every day. You know what I'm saying?
Brookwood.
Yeah.
Brookwood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a blessing, Chase. Like we was talking about earlier when we were talking about kids, I said that's just kids being spoiled. That's as a parent, we don't want our kids to go through what we went through as a child.
Yes.
So to be able to give your child more, what your parents were able to give you more, is a blessing. So when you made your money, and I use Joe Flacco as an example all the time, right? White kid, suburban neighborhood, grew up, mom, dad in the house. They already had their own money. Dad successful, mom successful, right? He make it to the NFL, first round pick to the Baltimore Ravens. Kid didn't even buy a car. Dad said, don't you buy a car. You're a first round pick, you're the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, somebody gonna give you a car. Kid didn't buy, the kid bought his first car after he won the Super Bowl with Baltimore 4 years later. Then he was Super Bowl MVP, he got a free one.
Come on now.
You understand what I'm saying? So to be able to have mom and dad in the house, to be able to tell you, son, don't worry about it. We got our own house. You don't got to buy us a house. We got our own cars. You don't need to buy us a car. No, that's powerful. That alone in itself is powerful. So the love that's coming from them is 100% genuine. They love you, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't lose sight of that shit. I know who your mom and dad is because I was your director, recruiting director, player personnel. It was my job to get to know who Chase is.
Yeah.
I had to talk to every NFL team about Chase. I had to tell every single team that your mom is this, your dad is this their names, this their phone numbers. You want to call and talk to them. They're great people. They showed up to the spring game in full effect. Me and dad sat down and chopped it up a little bit. I had to be able to be that guy to tell them that, So it was my job to do that, and I cared about you. Because when I look at you, I see my kid. It's something innate in men that we see another black man that's working his ass off. And you can ask Pops. I told him the first time, I said, man, you did a wonderful job. Yep. As crazy as he is, or crazy as the shit that he don't probably put Ed through, he did a phenomenal job. That's true. The kid graduated in 3 years. In 3 years of college. That don't happen for black students. You know what I'm saying? It don't happen for black men. It's rare. That wasn't my case. I wanted JUCO. You know what I'm saying? I went the JUCO route. I didn't have my foreign language requirement. I didn't do everything I needed to do. My mom did it all by herself. Never asked for a penny from my dad. My dad was living in Chicago, never came back to see me probably one time. My entire child. I didn't find out who the hell he was till I was 17. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not everybody's situation.
You had what you had.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Yeah, and it's not to take away from anything that you went through, because everything that you went through is genuine. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, your pain is your pain, and that's something that you have to deal with, and nobody understands, Chase, what it feels like to do what we do, to get a taste of that shit and have it snatched away from you as soon as you get a taste of it.
And you right there,
man. You at the door.
I got the snapshot on my other phone when you signed. There was a white room with a round table. I can remember like it was yesterday. I'm like, man, my boy is there. Crazy, but then don't beat yourself up because you had two good parents. They did what they supposed to do.
Bro, that's what everybody wants. Yeah. I pray I'm still with my wife right now, 13 years, 7, 8 years of misery right now. Don't cut it out. 7, 8 years of misery.
Tell the real
just
truth,
trying
though.
to figure out.
I've been there.
Just trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong, man. How to be a husband, how to be a father. I'm trying to figure it out every single day. Every single day. And deal with all my own demons at the same time by not letting my kids see the demons that I have, and not putting all my demons on my family. And it's so extremely hard, bro. It's so hard.
I used to talk to Ed, like, he 5 years old, like grown, like how we talking now.
Yeah.
This how me and a 5-year-old talk. I used to tell him I hate your mom, bro. The bitch makes my skin crawl.
At 5, bro.
It's
and I'm
crazy.
telling this broad this in her face the same way. The same one that you see us.
The same thing that he just said is exactly how I feel about my oldest son, Mom.
Come on, man.
I have never told him that one time. You know how hard that shit is? Not to tell a kid that you barely get to see because his mom is dangling him like a carrot and using him as a pawn, and you barely get to see him, even though the court say you're supposed to see him every other week. She's still finding a way to finagle the system and play with everything and jerk him off around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a hard thing to do. I've never said anything bad about her, although she have ran my name through the mud 100 different ways to Sunday. Yeah. It's hard, bro. What we have to deal with, it's hard, and you cannot do this shit by yourself.
And that's the number one thing that I learned is, like, you gotta have like that brotherhood for real. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that huddle.
That's no judge, man.
It's there.
That huddle.
It's like, there. You just gotta let them know what you're doing.
Because we all know what we going through. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but we don't. That's the problem.
Because we wear masks.
There you go.
So I'm telling you right now, I've been retired for 12 years now, and I'm still depressed. I'm still stressed out. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. And I know exactly who I am, at least I think I do. You know, some days I'm 100% sure, and some days I'm so cloudy, so foggy. Some days I'm so angry that I can grab a gun and freaking go have a killing spree and maybe even finish myself off.
Yeah.
And then some days I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy, you know? And it's not hard, you know. But I know it's something innate in me that's different, and I know that I'm not normal, and I know that even though I have these thoughts from time to time of hurting myself or hurting somebody else, I have never done anything like that to anyone. Like I could have, like how you felt about Ed's mom. I'm telling you right now. When she got pregnant with my oldest son, I was thinking about pushing her ass down the steps.
Not the roof.
Now, I wasn't gonna put it in the trunk. I wasn't gonna put myself in the
I
trunk.
don't think I'm supposed to be laughing, but yeah, I hear you though.
But see,
I thought about it. It's crazy.
this was my therapist
Yeah.
for years. What to do, what not to do. Then we got the baby, and he got his psycho. I'm like, bro, when we get him, I take care of him. and it was like joking. But I was serious because I know what I had been through.
And he didn't want that for his kid.
No,
I guarantee you he didn't want it. I didn't want it for his ass. I talked his dumb ass before he did it. And I told him not to. And I'm saying he's dumb ass because he got the girl pregnant after we talked. I had just had this real grown ass heart to heart conversation with him in my office.
see that thing ain't got no brain.
It's a relief.
That thing do what it want to do, boy.
We are in pain, bro, every day. You was in pain while you was playing every day and didn't even know it. Because we are brainwashed like crazy to play through everything.
I thought it was annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was like, everybody else cool, so I'm thinking everybody that's how it's supposed to be. You feel me? Like shit.
It's the dumbest shit I ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But
Bro,
that's the reality because it's normalized. It's like everybody's
It
doing
is.
it. And
It's
what
a
did we say
total
earlier? You want to
brainwashing.
belong. That's
all
the
it is.
bottom line.
Modern day
It's a
slavery,
total brainwashing of what the situation is.
We the one I started brainwashing it. I'm paying them
Boy,
off.
play through that shit.
Boy, I'm paying them
Play
off.
through that shit. But dad, I got a torn tendon in my foot.
I'm put like this. My
And we
like,
played
6
through.
years old.
Play through that shit.
I get knocked out. Crying. And then my pops like, hey, Joe, what's wrong? Like, so that was ingrained in me at that age too.
I got a scar right here on my eye. You know who put this 4 stitches on my eye and blacked my eye?
Your baby mama.
Shut.
Nah, bro.
My daddy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was your baby
Why
mama.
though?
I was 10 years old. My dad blacked my eye. He talking about some, you weren't playing hard enough. You were playing scared. I
3
had,
touchdowns, 20 tackles. We won the game.
Yeah.
You know
and you
what?
missed the block.
Yeah. You know
Before
what?
I knowed it, bah! Get what he say.
It's
I go
okay.
there and tell the mom, I said, boy, I'm messed up, boy. Fuck the boy eye up. She like, you gonna take him to the hospital. Get what he tell me. He like, bro, we ride to the hospital, going to South Florida. He said, hey, man, I'm gonna tell him I was playing ball. Kid came down the ball. I ain't say it. I mean, I didn't tell him to say it. I was ready to shit. It is what it is now.
Damn, him turned you into the female. You the female with the abusive husband.
Okay.
Lying for him.
Wait.
I tripped up and he hooked
Okay.
up. You the female, so
Yeah.
Okay.
that's how you already know you've been through some shit. Though.
Come on,
like
man.
real talk. Like
And then I got to the
that's it.
point now to I overdo it with him sometimes. Other relationship, cause this my
Yeah,
I don't did so much dirt
yeah.
till you overcompensate, and then he be like, man, I'm good, I'm a man. Take them a business. I'm like, bro, I appreciate it, cause I'm tired of being. I don't want you to be my bitch no more.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna bag up, and I let you have your space. Mama asked me one day, she like, do you even help him? Like, do I help him? I said, girl, if you knew how much money I give him every week, you'd be mad. So but you trying to fix it. I know I was a fucking mad scientist, and for him to still be sane and in his right mind, I'm not gonna let nothing out there get him.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Cause he's still mine. Like even with my grandboy, I love his grandboy because his daddy name. He don't give a shit about him. That's your child.
You tell me that all the time.
I love your child because he's your child. This my baby.
Right.
And see, most men ain't never had no friends. Cause see, I was pretty like him with a little chain. So everybody's jealous. So this is my only friend. And it wasn't what I could have. I had whatever I wanted. So like you said, it was two type of cats. The ones that thought they could, and the ones that could. And I was one of them. Even like with the girls. I the one I wanted. So it was like, and it was easy. What was hard to most men
was easy to me.
Easy. It's like it's like eating hot wings. I'm like, I get 10 of y'all on Sunday for free. And all of them got degrees. And moms them got. That's why I married my wife. I went to her house. I'm like, man, you got 2 parents. I ain't messing with strippers no more. Like, okay, you might be the one, but don't ever be scared, Chase, to tell your truth.
You have to.
That's the only way
Don't
you're gonna
ever lie
be
to
free.
yourself. Because see, I used to lie so much. I was a professional. Like, I'm like, now did I really do that? I ain't doing half of that stupid shit. But trying to fit in, trying to. Then I tell him, he always made my madness make sense. The bust the eye, the hard work, because he always excelled. And I told his mom one day, I'm like, this motherfucker crazy, because he won't quit.
And I think that's why, like, I feel like that's why we bond together for real. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, bro, like I said before, bro, I done been through so much shit, and I'm still here, bro. Can't, you know what I'm saying?
You better let that shit out, Chase. I'm telling you right now.
The kid cooking in the
It
butt.
is, man.
Let that shit out, dog.
And it's okay.
Grown
But it's
man.
like, as we get ready to wrap up everything, this is a question I want to ask. I understand you gotta cope and find something, but what if you can't?
You always can. Like,
What if time coming? I mean, I'm hurting. I'm trying to find something, but I'm steady fucking hurting. Ain't nothing making me feel better, and I'm getting closer and closer to that cliff, right? So
You better call me.
So I
Tell me.
gotta, I don't even know what it's called, but it's like, you know, you had them posts or whatever in your wall at your house. So it's the will of God will never take you nowhere, where the grace of God will protect you.
There you go.
And
The will of God, what now?
the will of God won't take you nowhere, where the grace of God won't protect you.
Gotcha.
And so, going back to your question, man, like, having that source, that's my source.
Yeah.
Like, no matter where I go,
You winning.
Yeah.
I tell everybody the importance of having God,
Yeah.
because I promise you, that's what I want to say earlier in the show. When I tore my knee up, instead of having to deal with what you guys dealt with, I was so blessed to, when I was laying in my bed crying, I'm like, Lord, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? My love for the game instantly went away. I can't explain it. It ain't nothing I did. My love for the game to go say I want to play again, completely gone. So I don't have to go through I can't play no more. Am I going to be depressed because I can't scrap on my helmet no more? I don't have that same love I had no more. It instantly went away. And I can't explain it to nobody. But that's that grace that he blessed me with. And that's where I was like, it's time to start true love. Because I got battled. I'm working with him. I'm like, man, only thing I should give it one more shot. My daddy, man, son, go play again. My homeboys and stuff, man, go play again. But my love just instantly went away. And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, God, you're in control. Because guess what? Your life is not your life. No matter what you think you finna be doing, when God say, I want you here, you're going to be here by any means necessary. Even if you took you 24, 23 years, you playing one game your whole life. Nah, son, you finna do something else.
Yeah.
That was for then. But it's time for you to do this now. I want you to go through this walk. You know what I'm saying? That was for me.
And guess what, Chase? Me and his mom, we ride with him. We focusing our whole livelihood on true love. All the rest of the stuff is irrelevant. Real, is it or not? tell them all the time, you the leader of the pack. I don't retire, bro. You the leader of the pack, and we all in. It's nothing I'd have walked up here if I had to make it. But like you said, same way with your parents. They don't make their mark. Your dad and your mom don't care about no house, no car, no money, no more. Because what I tell you, chasing that sack, it's a hole in the bag. You don't have it. It ain't the money. That's just a temporary fix. This what you getting now? You can see the brightness, and you brightening up, you shining, and it ain't because it's hot, because you free. And once you get free, and then can't nobody free you but God. Nobody, and that's what's wrong. A lot of people don't believe. You don't have faith.
And I don't even think it's. I don't think it's that. It's just like we really got to do a better job, like uplifting each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's like that's why like it's so important that we got to talk about these things and stuff like that. So like right now I'm getting started with this thing called PUSH. So PUSH stands for Purpose, Unite, Stable, Health. And for me, what I'm focusing in on is just focusing in with, especially like what I can only talk about what I've gone through. So I'm focusing in with student athletes, especially with teenagers going in before college, and just letting them know, like, look, man, football is a vessel. Football is not you, but football is a vessel. You know what I'm saying? And like, just knowing that you are purpose at the end of the day, no matter what you do, ain't nobody stop you. And just knowing that he always got you no matter what. And I want, like, instead of the kids, to let them know that when you have that platform, just know that there's somebody that's gone through what you're going through right now, and I just want you to know that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want kids to understand that, like, man, like, it's so freeing to have that mindset when you focus on that present moment and just stand in the moment, man. Like, everything takes care of itself. You know what I'm saying? And
support system is super important. Like every decision and choice you make in life is really derived off around the people that you surround yourself with. You know, so your friends, the people that you choose to have in your circle, either gonna put you in bad situations or they're gonna put you in great situations. And I mean, I can remember I've had this conversation with Ed 100 times probably. You know, but you if you're the smartest person in your circle, you failing. You failing yourself. If you can't learn from the people that you have in your circle, you got the wrong circle. So when you're going through something and you don't know who to turn to, you got the wrong circle.
Come on, brother.
Because you should have someone, Chase, that you feel comfortable enough to be able to pick up the phone and say, bro, I'm struggling right now.
Come on, bro.
You know, and what football gives you is a superficial sense of reality because you're playing with 100 and some guys in this fraternity and they're really not your brothers. You feel like they are. It's only 1, 2, 3 of those guys are going to end up being in your wedding. You know, the rest of them are really just, they pathways. They pathways to change, they pathways to maturity, they pathways to growth. You know, the ones that you think are your friend be calling you, hey, bro, let's go smoke this joint, let's go smoke this weed, let's go rob this bank, let's go break into somebody's house and do some stupid shit, let's go steal a car, you know, and you go do it. But then the ones that are real are the ones that be calling you, bro, let's go get this workout in, let's go study, you know, let's go. They elevate who you are as a person. And we're too ignorant as men at an early age to understand the difference between the guy telling you, hey, man, let's go rape this girl, and the guy telling you, hey, man, let's go to the library, and if it's a beautiful girl, then maybe we'll engage in a conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So your circle is everything. Your support system is everything. Like if you're struggling by yourself, and we all go through this, because I struggled by myself for a long time, and my support system has been no freaking good if you let me tell it. And I'm sure they tried everything they could, and they in their power to try to understand, but nobody understands us but us, and nobody knows what we're going through but us. And you can't try to get someone that hasn't been through that fire that you've been through to understand, to really understand mentally what you're going through and expect for them to get it. It's just like what's this song where they say you wasn't with him, you was shooting in the gym. Rick Ross talking about Kobe Bryant and his wife and all that type of stuff. Bro, I'm telling you right now, they weren't with you when you did all the stuff that you've done to get to where you got. They didn't put forth that effort, that drain, that strain, that those tears, that hurt, that blood, the sweat. They didn't do that. That grind. They won't ever understand it. But the guys that will is the ones that went through that heat and that fire with you at any different level of that thing and was able to pull themselves through it and get to that next stop. You know what I'm saying? Yes, if you're able to find one or two of those guys, one or two of them, you don't need 10, 15, 20, 30 of them. But if you're able to find one or two of those guys that you could pick up that phone, they're always there.
Yes.
Always pick the phone up.
Yeah. You know, like they different, bro. Yeah. And you got to, as a man, you got to be willing to see it. Yeah. If you're not willing to see it, you don't get it. And you can talk to this guy until you blue in the face. One thing I can say about him, you know, he got a lot of stuff going on in his world, and he got a lot of things going on in that big, thick-ass head of his. But he's passionate about the people that he care about. Mm-hmm. You know, he looked me right in my eye and tell me, "Yeah, I love you, Unc." And he don't have to, you know. I ain't become his uncle by chance. He chose me. You know what I'm saying? I chose him. When I first started having a conversation with him, and I remember that first day I walked into that team meeting room, and I wrote Coach Wilcox on the board, "This is my phone number. If y'all need anything. Look, all y'all in the eyes, y'all call me. Call me first. If you get in trouble, call me first. When you got in trouble, who you call first?
You.
Call me first." He didn't have to.
Yeah.
He didn't have to. You understand what I'm saying? But that one phone call changed our relationship forever.
For life.
You understand what I'm saying?
Say, boy, we locked, dude.
Yeah. You choose.
Straight up.
You choose who you want in your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody else choose that shit for you.
Yep.
You make that selection. My best friends are my best friend because I chose them. It was something innate in them that made me say, I like this dude. I respect this dude. I want him to be the godfather to my child one day. That shit's real. You know, it ain't fake. And things don't happen by chance. You didn't end up at Georgia State for no in particular reason.
Oh, no.
You ended up there because it was something in your path that had to go through that place. God put you there for a reason. Mm-hmm. And it's up for you to start pulling those pieces together and putting them together because you too smart not to. Mm-hmm. Okay? He's too smart not to. We are all too smart. We're too educated. Even if we got that shit out the mud and we can go to college, that don't make you dumb. College don't make you smart.
Okay.
It's creating great habits that make you smart, right? You know, doing the same thing every day, over and over and over and over and over again.
You know how to do that?
It's the definition. It's the definition of insanity.
Yes, sir.
We're insane like a. You know what I mean? You know, doing the same thing over and over and over again.
And I just want to tell everybody I appreciate y'all, my brother, Doc, Aunt, Pops. That's what we doing here at One Percenters.
Yes.
Great episode
That's what this
today.
is called, 1%ers?
1%ers.
I don't like it, man. It take way too long. This is way longer than 1% of my time today.
Watch out.
I don't like it.
Watch out.
It's way too long. I've been here for 4 hours already.
Chill.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to say I appreciate all y'all, though, man. And thank y'all for coming today.
Appreciate you, Ed. Thanks for having us.
And I know hopefully the camera's off. I really want to encourage y'all because I'm seeing this is what it's about. You know, no man is an island. And the proverb, iron sharpens iron. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friend.
Absolutely.
See who you're around. And when you mentioned about the suicidal, dying by suicide, that's hurtful. People do not want to die. They want the pain to stop. That's what they want. So please, 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 whatever you do, use your circle of support. Use your circle of support. Even if it's, I just need to be here and just be here. Do it.
Absolutely.
Do it. You don't have to be alone. We are not designed to be alone. We are not designed to be alone. Please. No more. No more deaths by suicide. No more. No more. No. That's all. Call me. Yes. No. Please. No.
How much you be charging?
You know what? I'm good. Whatever you can afford. Okay. Because I mean this. That's why I'm starting. I got Talk Black Therapy. We're doing that, and it's to help. We have to help each other. And this, Ed and I, we talk is deeper than that. And Unc actually touched on it. The whole generational things that have been placed on us as a people.
Yeah.
We're born to be in relationship. That's how we're designed.
This still on?
Okay.
And I hope y'all enjoy my podcast, 1%ers. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see on the next episode. Too love.
For what you heard, I'm painting that picture when you need it. Fairy tale can't fly no more. I close my eyes and tuck my heat. Fill my hole with bandages.